Alright y'all, back again today with another video. Today we'll be taking a detailed look at the Air Jordan 5 Fire Red Black Tongues. These did release back on September, I think it was 13th, for the retail price of $215. So I am a little late with the review, but please stay and check out the review anyway. If it's your first time stopping through, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the videos, comment, just make sure you're engaging with it. That is my way of knowing that my hard work and dedication on these videos are not going unnoticed. It continues to push the videos out to a larger audience. So if you could make sure you subscribe. If you get a chance, can you please go check out my last upload that I did? I did a video on some of the boxes in my collection, some of my favorite boxes, past and present. That video is doing okay, but it could be doing a lot better. If you get some time, please go check it out. So finally, with all that out of the way, we can kind of get into the shoes now. Like I said before, I am reviewing the Air Jordan 5 Fire Red Black Tongues. A lot of people energy kind of switched up when it came to these. When we first got official images and, you know, photos came out or whatever, people said, you know, they were saying like I had to have them. You know, I'm picking them up, I gotta have them. But when it came release day, you know, they were available. Nobody wanted to pick them up. So, you know, if you want to take your time with them and, you know, just wait later on in the day or the next day to go about picking them up, you know, that was the option. I waited almost like 4 days later and just walked into a store and was able to get my size. So, yeah, they didn't perform like they were supposed to, but I'm slowly starting to see them, you know, just come off shelves, and you know, people are finally getting around to picking them up. But if you wanted to pick these up, you know, you had some time to think about it. Coming to the box, you get your normal Air Jordan 5 box. You get a gray bottom, black lid, red Nike Air on that side, a red Nike Air on that side, and a red Jumpman on the top of the lid. Coming to the label does read Air Jordan 5 Retro OG. Colorway is white, fire red, and black. This is a size 11, so my size. Peeling off the lid, you get your black trash bag paper. You get that divider that's been coming with some of the more recent Jordan 5s that we've been getting. And taking the shoes out of the box. There they are. The Air Jordan 5 Fire Red Black Tongues. So finally they have returned. First time in 35 years that they had the Nike Air branded on the back. They did have an original release in 1990 with the Nike Air branding. Another release in 06 with the Jumpman on the back. Another release in 2013 that also had the Jumpman on the back. And now the more recent release in 2025 with the Nike Air branding. Also the Stitch 23 is finally back in its correct shape and form. I am going to do like a side shot of how that 23 has changed over the years. What I recently found out is the Stitch 23 is supposed to resemble the 23 on his jersey. So kind of match it up perfectly with what's the number on his jersey. But I will give like a compare and contrast on how that 23 has changed over time. Getting into a quick breakdown of the shoe, you get your clear icy white netting right here on the side. You get your Stitch 23 back here. Going down here to the midsole, you do get your air unit. You get a fire red midsole. Your clear icy white outsole coming up from the bottom. Your shark teeth right here, which is based off the World War II fighter jet. More of that clear outsole coming up from the bottom. Taking up here to the toe box, you get a fire red coming up from the bottom. The leather on here is, you know, decent. Just think the leather that they put on the Jordan 5 grapes is the same leather that they put on these. You get your black tongue, hence the name, and your fire red Jumpman on the tongue. Taking it to the other side, you do get a clear icy white netting on the other side as well. Fire red midsole. You got your air unit down there and some more of the black going around the midsole. And you can see the clear outsole coming up from the bottom as well. Taking it to the lace lock, you get a fire red lace lock. It does read Nike on the lace lock as well. Taking it to the back of the shoe, everybody's favorite part, the Nike Air, black stitched Nike Air on the back of it. Going inside the shoe, the sock liner is red, a fire red. You get your black Nike Air, you can see that. Air Jordan behind the tongue. Taking it out, you do get a black Nike Air on there and a fire red insole. This shoe does come with tissue paper. Taking it to the bottom of the shoe, you get your clear translucent outsole up here, black Jumpman, red Nike, and then more of your clear translucent outsole at the back. And you get a little bit of that fire red up here at the top. And pretty much the same thing with the other shoe. So I like to leave one shoe kind of like, you know, factory lace, you know, straight out of the box. And then the other shoe, I kind of lace it how I'm gonna wear it, so that I get kind of like a good compare and contrast. So I'll give you guys a look at both pairs. So that is them, the Air Jordan 5, fire red, black tongues. Like I said before, a lot of people energy changed when it came to this sneaker. A lot of people were looking forward to picking it up, saying that they were going to go get it. And, you know, come the day of the release, you know, they kind of just had second thoughts, I guess, and just kind of didn't go pick it up. But this is one that was on the list. I did succeed in getting a pair. So, you know, we can scratch it off and move on to the next. This is normally the part of the video where I would show you, you know, the completed Air Jordan 5, you know, original 1990 set. But, you know, due to my, I guess, stupidity, I sold my fire red, the silver tongues, a while back. So I do not have that one in my possession. So at this point in time, I cannot call it a complete set. So once I get those back in the collection, then we can do an updated video and I can show you guys all of the original colorways in one video. Like I said, I'm not a reseller. I'm not in it for a dollar amount. I do not sell sneakers. I buy my shoes to wear, but for some reason, you know, I wasn't wearing that shoe, so I decided to get rid of it. I hate that I can't show you guys a completed Air Jordan 5 set, but I can show you 75%. This is the Jordan 5 fire red, black tongues, of course. The Air Jordan 5 grapes that released back in June, Nike Air on the back. And of course, everybody's favorite, the Jordan 5 metallics, the pair from 2016. I do feel I'm getting a little closer to purchasing the Reimagined pair that came out earlier this year. If I could get a good price on those, you know, I would scoop those up. But, you know, I'm not willing to pay $500 for a shoe that, you know, I already own. So, you know, I would have to get a good deal on those for me to pull the trigger. Maybe like a trade or something like that. But until then, you know, I'm cool with these and that's enough for me. I do need to get my silver tongues back to kind of complete this. Yeah, this just doesn't feel complete to me. I need all four to say that I have the set completed. So I will work at that, and when I get that, I will do an updated video showing the completed set. So here you are, just, you know, 3 of them. Kind of strange that we got, you know, pretty much all the original colorways this year. Like we got these, the black tongues, we got the grapes, and we got a version of the Reimagined metallics that came out earlier this year. So if you were, you know, kind of just getting started out on sneakers or kind of just started collecting, you pretty much have all the original colorways in your possession after like 1 year. Whereas, you know, compared to, you know, back in like 2015, 2016, we had to wait years and years for these colorways to release. So they are starting to release them, you know, closer together. Same thing with the fours. If you just kind of just getting started out collecting, you probably have all the original colorways by now. And same thing could be said about the threes. That's just where we're at in sneakers. You know, they're releasing everything so close together. I do want to do a video on 2026, some of the releases that we'll be getting next year, because we're slowly starting to get leaks and, you know, images and videos of, you know, what's coming out next year. But you know, that's off in the future, and I'll do that at a later time and a later date. But like I always tell you guys, all work is easy work when you're doing what you love to do. Y'all stay blessed, and I'll catch y'all next time.